I'll be filling in for Ken today. Just want to get a quick sound check, make sure everyone's hearing me and seeing the screen all right. Should be seeing the front page of PowerPoint presentation, SOS Online Backup. All right, good. And as long as if any of you have questions, feel free to enter them in the chat part of GoToWebinar. I'll try to make this as interactive as possible. And let's jump right into it. So again, my name is Derek Wood. I'm the Partner Product Manager here at SOS. Today we're going to go through a little bit about SOS, the company, where we've come from, what market that we're acting in, and the competition within that market, and why it would be good for most of you to enter a program with us. We pride ourselves on having programs that are flexible enough to meet a large range of business models and ventures. So we have partners all the way down to small break-fix shops, even some accounting firms, web hosts, web designs, all the way up to major retailers, in between being managed service providers and any other industry in IT services or data services. So let's jump right into the beginning here. So first thing is online backup is still very much a large, thriving market. Online backup has changed a bit in the last few years as some of the more consumer-driven companies have put a lot of marketing into direct consumer channels. So whereas 2 or 3 years ago, online backup was a very new, interesting idea that, well, I've heard about this technology, but at the time it was really quite expensive and pretty limited in functionality. But now it looks like the cost is coming down, infrastructure's gotten to a point where it makes sense for any size business to get into this, whereas before it was, you had to have some substantial budgeting in place. So the history about SOS, well, we were founded in 2001 in Melbourne, Australia. So the company is Australian founded. We started off with just a real basic piece of software, and then we ended up customizing it for a number of individual proprietors. It wasn't until about 2005, 2006 that we officially launched a standardized product to the market, and that was also when we started going after large OEM relationships, custom fitting backup solutions for different vendors, some of those being Bitdefender, WebRoot, Online Backup for Dummies, Kingston, and so on. So we were unique in that we started off the market partnering with some major retailers. 2007, 2008, we opened up a more mid-market level sales operation, and we were doing primarily direct. And then we had a live affiliate program where it was a simple revenue share that many of you are probably familiar with. And we saw that while the channel was growing, it wasn't getting back to the strategic relationships that we had enjoyed so much in the OEM sector. So what we did is we scaled down the OEM relationship, including rebranding, strategic discussions, interaction with the partner, and came up with the program that you're all in or looking at enrolling in today, which is a rebranded wholesale program. So since the beginning of this program, which was really about July of 2010, or July of 2009 rather, excuse me, that's when we launched this program officially. And within 8 months, it had more than doubled our channel membership and became so big that it actually ousted the OEM partners as our main mode of business. We relocated headquarters from Melbourne, Australia to Torrance, and we actually just this last week have now expanded to an even larger office in El Segundo out here in California. So that is the rundown of SOS, and we're looking forward to further growing the business. We've been adding new products, both complementary and standalone to the backup. So we're really excited about that, and we look forward to growing further with you all. Where we position ourselves in the market is we're really right, the sweet spot is right in the small, medium business market, the SMB market, where you have maybe some part-time IT staff or even some of the larger SMBs with full-time IT staff. But we're now at a point where the service is secure enough to really deal with high security needs. So industry-specific marketing is a really good way to make money because of the heavy security that our service does offer. So accounting firms, law firms, medical offices, we're very popular in those industries. Whereas you see some of the names on the board, we have other services, because there are a plethora of services out there. You have Iron Mountain, which is really based the business around physical data management and moved into online backup as a necessity of technology growing and people needing to protect that data. But we still have a lot of partners who use Iron Mountain's other services that are more enterprise level and then package it with our stuff. Same thing with Symantec or different types of quote-unquote DR services like you might see with imaging services or VM services. And then right in the middle, we're right alongside companies like iDrive and Mozy, where Mozy has really been kind of moving out of the consumer market into the small, medium business. And then Carbonite is primarily consumer and recently has been a move to business. But at SOS, we really can cover the whole spectrum. It's simple enough to use where consumers can get into this. The small, medium businesses love it because it's a high security service at an affordable rate. And we've also been developing our management consoles through Pulse so that we can start entering the enterprise level market. And the enterprise level market, where we really find our niche, is to cover the holes that the extremities of your network may leave. We'll get more into that a little bit. So when you come and partner with SOS, the rebranded solution isn't completely unique as far as the idea of we're going to rebrand the software for you. It is unique in how we go about it. So we actually have full-time design staff that are going to take the logo that you send us. We're going to look at your website, anything else you'd like us to reference, and really try to build a design around the software that looks and feels like your company. So it's a true rebrand rather than what you see a lot of times in the market where it's one logo, hit upload, and then the only banner in the software is changed. We actually have over 100 different points of branding in the program, and it's something that we've enjoyed doing for our partners, and our partners have enjoyed themselves. So here's some examples of some of the simpler brands that we've done. So out the door you get product sheet. On the right hand we see the wizard screen, and then on the far left we see for our scanner tool what that would look like. In the Partner Resource Center, we also have available marketing material, how to provide managed services with backup as part of the managed services package, and then everything that we can do to help you along in entering this market. So when you're entering the market, what's the information that's required to really get out there? Well, first, consumers, when anything is ever left up to the user, you can almost always assume that it's not going to get done. Users are very lazy. Even yourself as a system administrator, you yourself as a user may perform a lot differently. For example, working in a backup company and then maybe not being as diligent with your backups as you are at work with your home computer, things like that. Consumers, typically we find that there's no backup solution, or it's an external hard drive at best that is lightly managed and lightly followed with no real offsite solution. With SMB, we find that there's, if there is something in place, it's typically bulky hardware solutions, and it's also typically some type of system state strategy. There's no user level strategy in place because there's no one to manage it, and the strategies in place probably aren't being tested very well. In enterprise, there's almost always some sort of backup solution that's being managed, or not solution, but a single strategy. There's often nothing taking into account user level backups, the extremities of your networks. You have a corporate office with multiple locations, and there's no clear, consistent backup or set of strategies that create a backup solution that's really standardized across the whole company. So we see that there's still a lot of opportunity in especially the small, medium business, and then moving into enterprise. So again, the support of coming into the program is that we're going to help you as you develop yourself towards these businesses. So you have our support staff at your disposal. We have live webinars weekly where we host technical and administrative trainings. So not only will our partners be educated in selling the software, but we also provide education as far as the basic architecture of the software,